Hey guys, and welcome back to Battlefront Updates. The August patch is now out for all platforms, or at least by the time this video is out, it should be out on all 3 platforms. And I wanted to show you some gameplay here in the background of the updated capital Supremacy, where you will be able to see the new spawning system, which I have to say makes a huge difference. It's really nice being able to spawn on the command posts, as well as being able to see them. If you click on the actual command post, it shows like a camera over it, so you can see roughly how many enemies are there, and similarly. And if you want to defend the command post, you can do that as well, but you will just spawn a little bit further away. So it feels a little bit like Conquest in Battlefield, obviously, but it's really nice, and I think that's probably the biggest addition. And also when it comes to the capital ship phase, it's so much better to have those command posts in the first phase instead of trying to walk up and activate that thing. On the second part, however, it seems like there's only one objective that you need to destroy. I thought there was going to be 2 objectives like previously, but it seems like there's only one, at least when I played. It might be that the second time you actually assault the ship there might be 2, but I think it's just 1. And honestly, we weren't even able to do like 1% damage to it, because they kept respawning in that room. So I tried to jump in there with a jump trooper and like land a couple of hits on the objective, but it didn't even nudge, since obviously you need to do a lot more damage than that. So when I played, we didn't even manage to touch that objective, and they just kind of kept respawning in there and killed us at all the entries, since there's only 3 entries to get in there. So I'm not sure what I think about that, but that's just after playing once. I really don't feel like I can judge it properly after just playing the capital ship phase once, but it was a little bit worrying, as I liked in the previous system where you could choose which side you want to go to. So if you know there's a lot of enemies on one side, you go to the other side, and that's kind of what I hoped for here. I do much prefer being able to shoot an objective than actually activating it, but we'll see how it works with only one objective balance-wise. Also, some changes to Bossk, Grievous and the BX Droid's jump, as you can see in the background here. A little bit more, I guess, realistic now, as none of them are Force users, and therefore they shouldn't be as floaty as all the Jedi and Sith are. So it makes sense that they've changed them to look a little bit more, well, normal gravity, so to say. You can also play heroes versus villains on the Venator and Dreadnought. I did not manage to get any gameplay of that yet. I'm actually not 100% sure if it's live, because I think I've joined like 50 heroes versus villains games, and I've yet to find those maps. So they might be rolling out soon, or they're just very far away in the actual rotation, so there's no servers running the Venator or Dreadnought maps just yet. Also, of course, the droid appearances that are now live. You can get the bundles for all 4 classes for crystals. I actually did that because I was too lazy to use my credits, and I've had those crystals sitting there since I think June 2018, so I was like, why not use those crystals on something instead of having to go through and buy every class or for every different skin, since you can only use crystals to buy the bundles. I think it's a fair deal. If you want to use credits, you can still do that. It's just that, well, it's going to take you a little bit more time to buy them, which I don't think is an issue really. In terms of the actual patch notes, I'm not going to walk you through all of them, as the majority of them I've already talked about, which are the new health on kill cards for all the heroes, or actually not health on kill cards, because now every hero except for Bossk gets health back on kills. And they replaced those cards with new star cards, which I've covered in a previous video. So if you want to see that video, make sure to go back and check it out as I go over all of the new star cards for the heroes. There have been some other things I wanted to bring up here that I think might be interesting, such as the fact that now audio from cancelled emotes will continue playing unless interrupted by an enemy's ability or so on. And they've also added a UI bar indicator of the enemy's hero stamina, something I noticed here when I played Capital Supremacy. I think that's going to come in very handy in heroes versus villains when you want to try and time your abilities and lightsaber strikes properly, and if you see that they are low stamina, just go all in for it, as they won't be able to block. They've also fixed some issues overall with the actual lightsaber heroes and blocking, sometimes being cancelled when you walk over a little ledge and things like that. So overall improvements to the lightsaber combat, it seems like. Grievous will now be immune to pushes and staggers during claw rush. Not sure what I think about that. I think it might make sense, since maybe he basically has all his legs and arms down in the ground, so he should be, well, not flying away as easily as it previously was. But I don't want to have too many immunities either. It's kind of like, it's hard to choose really. It's really annoying when you get ragdolled around the map all the time in heroes versus villains, but also if there's too much immunity, some of the abilities become pointless. So we'll see how that one works out. They're also supposed to fix some of the highlighting issues for like the specialist thermal binoculars, Bosk's predator instincts, and all those abilities that use, I guess, heat vision, which I think has been an issue for quite a lot of time, and they've said multiple times that they fixed it, but it yet has not been fixed. So we'll see if this time is the time where they've actually fixed it, because it is a bit annoying when you see something being fixed and put in the patch notes so many times over and over, but most of the time it doesn't actually get fixed. There've also been some redesign of the in-game objectives to be less obtrusive, which I really appreciate. Sometimes they would cover the screen a bit too much. Also, the droid announcer in Heroes vs Villains is now back. Since they redesigned Heroes vs Villains, he has been gone, but he is apparently back now, as well as with new voice lines referring to the new heroes and things like that. So I'm definitely excited to get some Heroes vs Villains action in there, hopefully on the new maps, and listen to the new voice lines as well. But I think that's really all the stuff I wanted to talk about in the August update. I will leave a link to the patch notes if you want to read through every little detail yourself. And I'm sure I'll have some follow-up videos in the coming days talking a bit more in-depth about my experience with new capital Supremacy changes, the hero changes, and I'm sure there's going to be some OP or glitched hero, since they've basically added a new effect / star card to every single hero. But that's impossible to judge from like 2 hours of gameplay. But I will be live streaming soon, where I'll obviously give my thoughts live, so make sure to tune in for that. It's been a while since I live streamed, so I'm excited to get back into it. But I will leave you with the rest of the round here, and you will see as we struggle to get through the actual capital ship here. Unfortunately, we didn't get through, but on the stream I'm sure I'll be able to do that. But so, thank you very much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.
landing. Enemy leader, maybe.
not have finished the mission this time, but that window's not shut yet. We're gonna need to take a step back and recapture some of those command posts.